Hey, what's up everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. Today we're doing the mid-year top 10s. This is the 122-pound super bantamweight division. We're going to run through the top 10, 10-1, just to update you on where I have the guys as of right now. Now, none of these top 10s are official till we do my year-end top 10s. But I love doing my top 10s. It's probably my favorite videos to do, and giving you guys updates on each division from 122 all the way to heavyweight. Excuse me. And basically just giving you updates on where I see everybody in each division at the halfway point of the year, where June is over, so 6 months is done, and now I'm going to give you an update on each division. There's some major changes and there's not so major changes in some divisions. 122 was one of those divisions, didn't have a big jump. I also am not ranking guys in another weight class until they actually fight there. It's too complicated to do that for the mid-year top 10, so I'm not doing that until they actually fight in that division. That's a rule I set down for the mid-year top 10s. Year-end top 10's a little bit different. Mid-years, this is what I'm doing. So let's start with the guy that's out. There's only one guy out of the top 10 that entered the year in the top 10, and that's former two-time world title challenger Ronnie Rios. Rios went in against the number two, went in against one of the top guys in the division, in Mirajan Akhmadaliev. He had a mandatory fight that was due. He finally got it, and in all honesty, he got his ass whipped. He fought hard. He landed some shots. He backed off Mirajan plenty of times, but MJ kept pressing, dominated Ronnie Rios, stopping him in 12 rounds. For me, a one-sided beatdown, you get stopped like that, and given the fact that he hasn't done much the last 3 years in terms of big-time wins, I dropped him out. Not to say he can't come back in the second half of the year. I doubt that he does, though. I think he's going to take a little time off. We're not likely going to see him before the end of the year. But, fought hard, just wasn't enough. So Ronnie Rios drops out. He was previously number 7. So breaking in at number 10 now, breaking into the top 10. He wasn't ranked before. Aaron Alameda. He didn't do anything special. I don't even think he's fought this year. He hasn't. But, he has fought his ass off against two top 10 guys in the last year and a half, 2 years. He fought Luis Nery for the vacant title back in September of 2020. Came up came up short in that one, but he fought hard in that fight, and it was a close fight. Then he lost to Angelo Leo in 2021, another one, tough one. Went right at Angelo Leo. It was a good fight. Lost the close decision. So Aaron Alameda, I think, deserves, for now, a top 10 spot. Hopefully he does something in the second half of the year. He's a PBC guy, so hopefully he gets some kind of crack at something. His highest ranking is 12 by the WBC, so hopefully he can get into some kind of an eliminator. Number 8, moving up one spot from number 9, is Angelo Leo, the former WBO champion. Leo has not yet fought this year. Still waiting to see him. He's actually been out of action a little over a year now, since he bounced back from his loss, or since he fought Aaron Alameda and bounced back from his only loss to Stephen Fulton Jr. Leo, just hopefully another one. Hopefully he can get back into the mix at some point. His highest ranking is 11 by the WBC, so hopefully he could jump back in at some point this year and make a dent. He's a PBC guy, so plenty of options there. We'll see what happens. Number 8, moving up 2 spots from number 10, is Carlos Castro. Carlos Castro entered the year undefeated and went at it with Luis Nery in February on the Thurman Barrios undercard. And he fought his ass off. He got put down in that fight, though, by Nery, and just got edged out over 10 rounds, losing a split decision to him. And you would think a tough loss like that, you're not going to bounce back in a major way. Well, Carlos Castro is saying, fuck all that. He's coming back July 9th, so a little over a week away. We're going to see Carlos Castro banging it out at 126 again against Brandon Figueroa. That's a big fight right there. Castro, I don't think he's going to beat Figueroa, but I definitely definitely think he's going to be in that fight, and I think he's a very live underdog. So make sure you're watching that one. That's going to be good on Showtime July 9th. Castro versus Figueroa. He's likely not going to be ranked in the top 10 anymore at 122 by the end of the year. But he's got a major fight with Figueroa right there, and I can't wait to see it. Number 7 is former unified champion Daniel Roman. Now, Roman came in. He had a mandatory fight with Stephen Fulton Jr. and he really gave it his all in that fight, but it just wasn't enough. He was competitive in some of the rounds, but Stephen Fulton Jr. is just on another level right now, and stylistically, he just dominated Roman. And Roman at 32 years old, 33 in that area, tough loss. Does he bounce back? Does he give it another go? I really don't know. I do believe that he's going to take the rest of the year off, though, and really weigh his options. This was a one-sided in terms of points loss for him. First time that's pretty much happened since he's become a big name in the last 5 years. He only lost to MJ by a close split decision prior to that. And we're going to have to see how Danny wants to bounce back from that. Tough loss. Number 6 is Ionut Baluta, the contender, moving up 2 spots from number 8. This guy just continues to shake things up at 122. He went in against an up-and-coming budding star in Brad Foster, went over to the United Kingdom and defeated him on his home turf, winning a unanimous decision over 10 rounds. I actually predicted that he would win because this guy is just the upset master. He really is. He's the guy, he defeated TJ Doheny a couple years ago, followed that up with defeated David Allen Joyce after that, and then almost beat Michael Conlon last year, and now has defeated another budding star in Brad Foster. This guy's the real deal, and finally a governing body gave him some love and ranked him. He's ranked number 6 in the WBC now. So I'm hoping at some point Baluta, maybe in the second half of the year, can get some kind of an eliminator going on. He deserves it, and I hope he does because, again, he deserves it. And the guy keeps banging around and surprising people. So congrats to him. Good start to the year for Ionut Baluta. He's actually the WBC's number 10 contender is what he is right now. Still number 5 is Azat Havanassian, the most avoided guy, the boogeyman. He fought, stayed busy in April, stopped some unknown guy in the second round. He's still the WBA's number 1 ranked contender, and I'm hoping he gets a mandatory title fight, or, like I said, if the governing bodies come together and order an undisputed title fight between MJ, Murajan Akhmadaliev, and Stephen Fulton Jr., I'm hoping if they do that Havanassian can collide at least with Marlon Tapales to confirm a mandatory for the new undisputed champion. But we got to wait and see. I got a feeling that MJ is going to be left out in the cold and widely avoided again. But I'm hoping he gets something significant in the second half of the year. Havanassian totally deserves it. And again, I just hope he gets something. Number 4, moving up 2 spots from number 6, is former 2-division champion Luis Nery. Nery bounced back from his loss to Brandon Figueroa last year. He didn't take any fights in between, and he went right at Carlos Castro in February of this year on the Thurman Barrios undercard, and went in there, and I thought, hey, maybe Castro was going to beat Nery, and Nery went in there and outworked Castro, put him down once, and walked away with a close split decision over 10 rounds. And now, he was actually in position to fight Stephen Fulton if Daniel Roman passed on the fight. Roman didn't end up passing on the fight. But Nery is in very good shape to land the Stephen Fulton fight next. I honestly believe if Fulton and MJ cannot be worked out for the undisputed title, I wholeheartedly believe we're going to see Stephen Fulton and Luis Nery in the second half of the year for the unified belts. So Nery, I think, is going to get us cracked. I think that's more likely to happen than the undisputed title fight between Fulton and MJ. Number 3 is the former champion Brandon Figueroa. Well, Figueroa, you know, like I said, he said last year that he's likely moving to 126. He's waited for a whole 6 months, 5-6 months to make that decision. He finally did. July 9th, he's coming back in a WBC eliminator at featherweight and taking on Carlos Castro. Big fight for both guys right there. The winner will be in line for the winner of the main event between Magsayo and Ray Vargas at 126, and I think Brandon Figueroa's future is at featherweight 126. So, not likely going to be returning to 122. Number 2, and remaining number 2, is the undefeated unified WBA IBF champion Mirajan Akhmadaliev. He didn't fight up until June 25th, just a few days ago, last week, and he took on his mandatory Ronnie Rios, the veteran. He dominated Ronnie Rios over 12 rounds, picking him apart, breaking down the body, and scoring a 12th round TKO as he retained his 2 belts. So an impressive performance, but now, you know, we just have to wait and see what they're gonna order him to do next. If the governing bodies can come together and order him and Fulton for undisputed, that's obviously what everybody wants to see. That's what he wants. But he has mandatories due with Marlon Tapales and Azat Havanassian for his 2 belts. So that's all got to be worked out. We'll see what happens. But I think it's going to be either Stephen Fulton, Azat Havanassian, or Marlon Tapales next for MJ Mirajan Akhmadaliev. And still number 1 is the undefeated unified WBC WBO champion Stephen Fulton Jr. He returned at the beginning of June and took on former unified champ Daniel Roman and absolutely dominated him over 12 rounds. Fulton picked him apart, you know, just went in there and was tagging him, counter-punching him. Just a very good performance by Stephen Fulton against the former champ, winning a one-sided decision. That's how you do it. That just confirmed his number 1 spot. Now, though, heading into the second half of the year, again, obviously, him and MJ for undisputed is what everybody wants. And Stephen Fulton doesn't have any mandatories due, but I believe Akhmadaliev does. And that might put Stephen Fulton to where he does not get that fight. And I think if he doesn't, it's likely going to be Luis Nery in the second half of the year for Stephen Fulton, which he's a top 5 guy, not, you know, and a former 2-division champ. So that doesn't, you know, doesn't hurt Fulton's resume to add another former champ and a top tier fighter to his resume. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see what goes down. I think that's what's going to happen next for Fulton, though. I think it's going to be Luis Nery. But I really hope it's undisputed. So, first half of the year, my super bantamweight of the year so far is Stephen Fulton Jr. for his dominant performance against Daniel Roman, the former unified champ. And that's what I got. That's the mid-year top 10s for the 122-pound super bantamweight division. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.